Wow. Are you there, Rectify?
From across the pond in the United Kingdom, to the west coast of Orange County, California. From the Pacific perspective to the Atlantic perspective. From liberal craziness to conservative idealism. From Christianity to atheism belief systems. Welcome to the Gray Zone Roundtable with Rectify and Wingman at Revolution Radio. FreedomSlips.com.
Welcome to the Gray Zone, FreedomSlips.com, Revolution Radio. This is Rectify.
Hello. Hi, Rectify.
And who was that?
I'm Angela Black, last time I checked.
That's my wing woman right there, Angela Black.
How's my mic?
Your mic is good. How's my mic?
Your mic is fabulous. You're so peppy.
Well, it's the 2nd of September. You know, Wake Me When September Ends. Good song.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, today in history, let's get the business here. This is the Gray Zone. It is a round table. I know we got to compete with all the younger folks that are out there doing the same thing. But like Noreen, she gets all the older people that have now gone to bed. So I'm always jealous. But yeah, Noreen at Wild at Heart Roundtable, good job as always, you and all your folks. But yeah, listener supported.
Noreen Helphand, great moderator, great host of Wild at Heart, which is our Monday evening round table, which we directly follow.
Let's change slots, Noreen. Wink, wink.
And so I don't know. So what are we? We're the Conan O'Brien to the David Letterman and Jay Leno thing. Is that what you're saying? You know, when Conan was Conan on late night.
Yeah, I like more of like we're like Howard Stern during his Coke days, you know, compared to
Coke?
Alex Jones during his Coke days. I don't know if I just said that or not.
I don't know. I didn't think Mr. Stern ever did the Coke.
He was a Pepsi guy. I don't know.
Nice niceties we are doing here. Did you want to continue your wonderful, Yeah,
September 2nd, 2014. There's the timestamp. Bam. And we do have, I want to bring up some interesting today in history for the 2nd of September. And this is.
May I interject really quick?
Sure.
Just let everyone know you're listening to Revolution Radio, FreedomSlips.com, the number one 100% listener-supported talk radio station on the internet, the entire thing. Oh, yeah, we are having, I think we have like 77 hosts. We get some interchanging hosts. We have 2 studios A and B. We are, again, listener-supported, so if you find yourself with a wallet or a purse that has actual cha-ching in it, we would love to have some of it because that's how we keep rolling over here on this amazing Truth Network. We are not run by politicians. We are not run by corporations. We are the voice of the people. We try to be anyway. We have free speech here, and it is an amazing platform for not only the listener but the hosts. But the hosts as well. So we're happy to be here.
Which don't get paid. It only goes to infrastructure, pays the bills. We don't get paid a dime.
Yeah, but that's okay. You know, we knew that going in.
Yeah, I just want the listeners to know that. Got to reiterate.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you can sponsor your favorite host's show if you like, and I think the host will see a portion of that money. I think some of it goes to the station. I think if you specify that in your donation, which, by the way, you can find the support button at the top of the homepage on freedomslips.com, or if you get yourself into the chat room, which I highly recommend, then over on the left there is a donate button along with other fun little buttons, including the schedules for studios A and B, and some other fun little buttons. I like buttons. Let's push some buttons.
Yeah, speaking of pushing buttons, we have an update on the chat. We just did a flop, which is an entire network infrastructure flop over to a new system, basically, so it's transparent. You're turning off one light and you're turning on the other one at the same time, so there's no downtime. But the reason we did that is because we had so many trolls in our chat room. So we had clean house, put in some new systems, and Nighthawk got done doing that today. So thank you, Nighthawk, for that new platform. And beware, trolls. I don't think you can get in anymore.
Wow. Yeah, it looked different. I wasn't sure, but it looks shinier and prettier also.
It is. It's very colorful.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. Like lots of weird tech stuff and, YouTube stuff was happening over the last few weeks. Trolls and that whole thing. A Mad Painter, one of the hosts here and also one of the, main pieces of furniture in the infrastructure of Revolution Radio had a nice piece of prose that he wrote regarding his feelings about trolls and that type of thing. I saw it on Facebook. It was well thought out, and I want to commend a Mad Painter for basically laying it on the line and just explaining, what a troll is, why trolls are there, the different reasons behind the motivation of a troll, etc. And we're just, we're happy that everybody's always on the ball and trying to improve whatever we can so that trolls will not be the death of us. Thank you very much.
Basically, my viewpoint is most trolls, the majority of trolls, are actually involved in today's warfare. They're actually hired goons working for some militarized or private corporate, type of Blackwater group or something, just to stir the shisa up, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to get back to 1666 on this day, September 2nd. The Great Fire of London began at 2 a.m. on Pudding Lane, and that's where 80% of London is destroyed. So, yeah, there's some great news in history. But I also wanted to welcome, this is a roundtable, let me give the number out, 347-688-2902. But we've already been joined by a few people. I'd like to welcome a guest friend of yours, Angela, actually from across the sea. We're having connection problems, so we have Kingsley from Equatorial Guinea with some news on Ebola we're going to get into a little straight from Africa. We've also got Mr. Wally Lad. Long time no talk, my friend.
Hey, Rectify.
Hey, Wally.
Angela. Keith,
what's up?
You're out there. I see Kingsley still bubbling.
Yeah, we got Keith Roberts also, and Steve Kelley's trying to get in. I'm going to get Steve in here.
Yeah, I thought that was real great. I was talking about his interview on Press TV and how credible Steve is and the guests that he has. He definitely deserved to move another step up in the ladder, and it also took Revolution Radio up another step in the ladder also along with him. So, Thank you, Steve. No ego problems here. I got a pin. I'm ready to deflate it a little bit if you get a little bit too big.
Okay. Hi, Keith. Hi, Wally. Hi, Angela.
Hi.
I don't know Kingsley. Hello, Kingsley.
Kingsley's joined us.
Yeah, you want to go ahead and introduce Kingsley, Angela?
Everyone, I know Kingsley. He met me on Skype somehow. It just found me one day. And then we became Facebook friends as well, and I've been communicating with Kingsley here and there. He is from Equatorial Guinea, which is not the same as Guinea. So if you are, near your keyboard, please do feel free to look it up. And I was hoping to get some inside scoop from that side of the pond, that big continent. And welcome to the show, Kingsley. Are you there? I think he's muted. Are you muted? I don't know.
We're having connection problems. Go figure. You guys were having connection problems too there on Noreen's show. I noticed, Stephen.
Yeah, we got hit. We got hit as soon as we started talking about some heavy duty stuff. Immediately, as soon as the heavy duty stuff came up, we got hit.
And that's what Kingsley's here for. We want to hear local news on the Ebola, because this week, not only in Africa but also in the UK and the East Coast here in the United States and Maryland, this week they are going to start their trial efforts on a quote-unquote vaccine on human beings that are volunteering to take this vaccine.
Wow.
What's that about?
They're gearing everybody up over by you, Rectify, on the West Coast. All the hospitals for, they say, possibly 100,000 people by December will have Ebola here in the States. And they're gearing up a lot over on the West Coast there, from what I've been reading.
Well, now, see, I read that the two people that had come over from Africa last week were released from, I believe, the Center for Disease Control and have been officially declared recovered and supposedly immune to Ebola. Is that funny?
Into something that constantly mutates.
I don't know. I'm just telling you what I read.
Right. I believe it. Yeah.
I believe
But
it too. But,
I don't
it's
know.
hard to believe.
If 100,000 people in the United States get Ebola, it's immediately exponential. I can't imagine it being contained. I mean, everybody will die. So where is that fact coming from, or where is that factoid coming from?
Just a minute. I'm just clicking on it now.
Right on.
Max Headroom on TV telling us.
Max Headroom.
Hey, Rectify, I was at a friend of mine's garage sale, and he had 2 mugs with Max Headroom's picture on it and Max Headroom. And I says, what do you got to have for these? And he says, oh, you can have one of them. So,
yeah, you got to ask him, wonder why they how did they have this animation software before we even had, Radio Shack computers in our garages, We've been joined by Noreen Helphand also. Hey, Noreen, she's the host of Wild at Heart.
Hi, you remember that movie? Isn't that a trippy movie?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm into those noir kind of movies. I thought that
Welcome, Noreen, by the way.
Welcome. Yeah, I may just look around. If I hear something interesting, I'll say something, because I just did my own roundtable, as you know, and so we'll see. If, I'm just kind of hanging, and maybe I'll say a thing or two. But go ahead, you guys. If you were seeing something, I'd like to hear it.
Well, I got a story from Yahoo here on the human trial for Ebola vaccine to begin this week. The ongoing Ebola outbreak in West Africa prompted the National Institution of Health, the NIH, to expedite safety testing for several vaccines already in the works. Since March, the deadly virus has killed 1,552 people. Okay, so let's do numerology. There's 5 and 1, that's 6, and 5, it's 11, and 2, it's 13. Okay, so cool, good number, right. According to the World Health Organization, so we got the NHI and the WHO, which predicted last week that the virus could infect 20,000 people in the next 6 months. Now, you were saying, who said 200,000? Was that you,
Wally?
No, 100,000. I just found the article, and just to kind of quick here, a little paragraph. If the epidemic in Libya were to continue the way until December 1st, the cumulative number of cases would exceed 100,000. 100,000.
I wonder why they kept quiet on this whole thing, and went to all these other stories for a week or two, and now it's going to be in your face again. There's got to be a psychology to that. What do you think, Steve and Kelley?
Well, wait a minute. A psychology to what now?
Well, they had us all hyped up on Ebola for, day in, day out, mainstream media. And then 2 weeks, they'll take a break and go somewhere else. And now it's everywhere again, all over mainstream.
Well, it's all about fear and creating fear, and what's the latest flavor of the fear of the day. And they're going to, and obviously at the same time, it's also about trying to come up with schemes for killing off a lot of people. And it all figures into a grand scheme. You figure this in with Fukushima and the vaccines and the chemtrails and the GMO foods, et cetera, et cetera. Slowly but surely, they're going to kill off a lot of people. And they want to speed up the process, of course, with the war with Russia. I mean, it's suicide. So, obviously, the rest of the stuff, it's just like the people crossing the border and ISIS coming in through Mexico and saying they're going to do an assault on California and Texas and what have you. And, we're getting it from both sides. The militia wants to arm up and defend the border and says that the government is shooting at them and taking their guns. So it's a very complex situation, black on white. They're trying to stir it up everywhere. And yes, the Ebola is, but I'll tell you, there's no secret that these people that are doing these things would love nothing more than to kill off a major portion of the people living in Africa if they could get away with it. And so I would, it's like a big surprise. The first white person gets Ebola, they come up with a cure. Big surprise. Obviously they could have probably done it. But at the same time, if they do vaccinate everybody for this disease that the United States happens to own the patent for, they're going to probably include nanobots, RFID chips, and everything else that they can smuggle in there, something that's ultimately going to kill you and allow them to track you and control you and change you. And that's what I'd be worried about. And they're going to make you pay for this. So, we're all worried about taking the mark of the beast. It's probably going to come in the form of your Ebola shot. because the technology.
I don't doubt that theory. You know, if indeed it's going to go down that way, that's exactly a very credible idea that I also happen to with which I happen to concur. That if indeed the Ebola thing happens, which may or may not, then I think everybody's going to be rushing to the hospital to get their shot, and your DNA is going to be on file if it isn't already, because whoever's not currently, under the blood scan radar, or on it, I should say, as a blip, will certainly go running to get their Ebola shot if they're not an informed individual, and also if they're being, fear,
if they're watching TV.
Yeah,
if they read the newspaper and watch TV, they're probably going to be in fear. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then, the RFID chip, absolutely. I was making a joke about that I got some labs done last week, for my blood, and I thought, well, if they haven't put the RFID chip in yet, they certainly probably will this time. So it's very interesting. It's an interesting point.
Well, we know they're smuggling in all sorts of weird stuff like like the big news now is they're putting in fetal tissues in the vaccines. They've gone. We know they've been putting fetal tissues in the Pepsi. We just made that illegal, so they can't do that anymore. What's with the fetal tissue? What are they trying to, and now we hear that some of these aerosols that they're spraying in the chemtrails actually have fetal tissue. It's crazy.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking binary agent. I'm thinking they can flip a switch.
Like a stem cell sort of thing, right?
So we go running for their shot, which is going to neutralize that itch, but it's also going to activate their device.
It's been exposed to some step A, and then they'll introduce step B. Or they'll sell you step B, but then it's going to require step C that they spray from the air or something like that,
Yeah, total Hegelian dialectic type of thing. Like, boom, here, come, we'll save you. And then
my husband's in the background asking where you got the information about, was it fetal tissue in chemtrails? Is there
No, it's been turning up in, blood products have been turning up in the chemtrails for a long time. And specifically, fetal tissues are being detected in the vaccines. Like I said, we've seen the magnifying slides where you can see the fetal tissues within the material, and we know Pepsi is publicly being sued to remove fetal tissue from their testing and their flavor development. And the very fact that we should even have to say these things is crazy. But we live in that kind of world. People don't believe it, but trust me. Budweiser, Pepsi, all these big drinks manufacturers try to envision modern-day witches stirring their kettled brew. They really are doing that to this stuff and feeding you to it, making you pay for it. My God, Monster's got 666 right on the cover, and people go, yeah, let me put this on my T-shirt or my truck. Come on. It's like it's right in your face.
Right, that's Vav, Vav, the 666 there in Hebrew. Oh. Yeah. Well, it's also 322. The 22nd letter is V in our alphabet, which, 322s would be VVV again. But speaking of fake food and all that stuff, we have pink slime. It's back in all the marketplaces.
They call it finely textured meat now, huh?
Yeah, they're calling it finely textured meat. So you want to stay away from anything that says anything finely textured beef or lean finely textured beef or LFTB. Stay away from those labels, people. They are taking pieces of the animal that we normally should not be even trying to digest, and they're mixing it with our ground beef again to save themselves money. So they got caught doing this in 2012. Well, not caught, but they got found upon doing this and frowned upon doing this and brought to the light. But now there's a couple companies, and let me get those names out there. Actually, I don't have the names, but
I want to do it anyway because I think they're smuggling some human tissue into it. I think they got this thing with feeding us human tissue. It's almost like cannibalism, like they're trying to screw with our brains.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like you go kind of nuts when you start doing cannibalism. It's sort of like a ritual, I'm sure, but
now it's going to be mad human disease instead of mad cow disease.
Exactly. It's like when you eat primates, a lot of this stuff when the people in the jungles were eating primate meat, monkeys and stuff, it was too high up the ladder and it was screwing with their brains. And I hear that when you're a cannibal, it screws with your brains too. Some genetic thing. I think it has to do with the life force density we're supposed to consume from lower density life forms, not higher density life forms.
All right, that company's called Cargill. That's the one that's putting the crap in your beef. It's Cargill.
Yeah.
George Bush's company.
America is their slogan.
Lovely. Drop that link. In the chat.
Don't eat McDonald's. That's a good way to avoid that stuff, probably.
Yeah, I come to find out, when you see 100% beef marked on something, that is a trademark. That's not telling you, there's 100% beef in this package. It's actually a trademark, like the name Walmart, or the name Ralph's, or the name Mobil, or Exxon. It's a trademark. It's a label. It's not telling you the truth. It's like saying food product is in an ingredients list. Well, define food product. Well, you go look it up and say we're talking about cat or dog food, the wet food product they sell. When it says food product, guess what that means? That is roadkill. And your pets from veterinarians. These vets will sell their freezers full of dead animals to be reground up and sold to these packaging plants and refed to our animals. So speaking of cannibalism, look it up right now on your ingredients list if you have a dog or cat.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Best thing to do for you guys.
Animal product.
If you have a male cat, if anybody has a male cat, stop feeding it regular cat food and get it low mineral content cat food immediately, because the food that they feed the cats totally destroys the male cat's plumbing. And they know it.
I've got neutered cats, and I prefer to. I apologize, but I for interrupting, but I've got male cats. They're neutered, and if you have cats, pretty much, unless you're a breeder, you should probably have your cats neutered anyway. And what I do have to say is, I'm not buying any more expensive cat food. My cats are doing just fine, and as much as I appreciate what you're saying, my cats are going to eat the damn cat food right out the store.
There's this thing called uterine disease in male cats.
Okay. They haven't dropped dead yet.
You're lucky. I suppose when you cut off their plumbing, it probably helps. But if you don't,
I didn't cut off their plumbing. I adopted the cats, and they were already neutered. But so I basically gave some animals a really great life, and they seem to be doing just fine with the cat food. So I appreciate what you're saying. I do, but I think at a certain point I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and stick to the cat food that hasn't killed them yet. But you have a point. And so I'll go.
I got a smile on my face, and I'm envisioning Bob Hope right now. We're talking about neuter your pets.
No, that's Bob Barker.
Bob Barker,
It doesn't really have anything to do with the balls per se, but the thing is, there's a lot of minerals in the basic cat food, and it kind of clogs up. It's like calcium deposits inside the pig, the urethra, and it happens a lot. If your cat doesn't have that, great, but if you got a male cat, the best thing to do is try to get a low mineral formula. It's not that much more than the absolute cheap crap, but otherwise, cat food companies should reduce the mineral content of all cat food. They shouldn't be selling it personally. There's no reason for having it, but for some reason they won't do it. They know damn well the product kills male cats. They still do it. So don't wait for your cat to get killed.
Do you guys give your
cats are like 12 and 8. I think they're going to be okay. I apologize on that one. I don't mean to razz you, but
you never had anybody your cats die from it. You take your cats in, they say, oh, by the way, your cat's got this clogged up urethra. It's because of its high mineral content diet. It's like, oh crap,
Yeah.
By that time it's too late.
It could be the water though, couldn't it? Also.
Well, I had filtered water.
See, that was going to be my question. Is I give my cat tap water for one and only reason. If I give her filtered water, that cat box urine smell, oh my goodness.
Well,
but I realized if I
calcium,
tap, the chlorine actually helps neutralize it.
Really? Well,
she's 14 too, so she's healthy.
No, okay. I'm not going to suggest anybody has consumed chlorine. That's not good for you, especially for males.
Nobody really has a choice. It's in all of the tap water. I mean, if you're not drinking tap water, but you're bathing in it.
Yeah, that's right. 10-minute showers like drinking several glasses of chlorinated water. It's really terrible.
It is really weird. I do feel, and I'm actually allergic to the, if I go into a pool, I get immediate reactions, etc. A very chlorinated body of water, etc. But I'm forced to shower in it every day, and it's very odd because I can feel it. I can feel a difference. But in general, and we get some well water from a natural spring in the mountain, and then I do the MMS, which is a bleach also. And so I drink that. I don't consume tap water as on a regular basis, but occasionally, if you're thirsty and you don't have any water around and you've got nothing to drink, you'll drink it. You'll drink it. Will you drink it?
Yeah, I remember the taste of the hose, that rubbery taste. On the front lawn.
Don't take that. There's mold in there. I don't know. It makes that taste really good, huh? When you're a little kid, that hose is all those green hoses, right?
Oh yeah, the water that came out of there. Yeah.
When it's really cold. For a little while, it's cold for a little while. You wait. Yeah.
I mean, today you'd be put away if your kid was doing that.
No, all right. Let me tell you the thing about chlorine. Okay, what chlorine does. When you're eating food that has cholesterol is good, especially in a man, because cholesterol is what's used to make testosterone. But when you mix chlorine into the equation, the cholesterol becomes plaque, and that's what causes all the artery hardening and all their bad stuff associated with plaque. So it's all that. If they used peroxide to, say, purify water, it would be a lot cheaper. They'd use a lot less of it, and it would do a much better job. But they'd rather use chlorine for some reason, just like they'd rather use fluoride. It's all part of the plan. Fluoride causes you to absorb aluminum, which they're spraying out of the planes, so there's your part A and part B. See, it causes you to absorb that aluminum 400 times faster.
Even iodine would be more efficient for water purification.
Yeah, or whatever. I mean, what is it? UV, huh? I think they do.
Yeah, throw some light on it.
All right. But no, seriously though, this, peroxide's a lot safer. I mean, my God, it's water, right? H22 or H2O2.
H2O2, I think. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, my God. Yeah. I mean, geez, what could be better than that? So anyway.
So use peroxide is what you're saying. What about the MMS? What do you think of that?
MMF. What is
MMS,
that?
it's actually classified as a pool cleaner, but it's a water purification.
Well, I don't know. I tell you what I really like. I like saltwater pools. Okay, this guy wants to show a video. Decline that video.
Decline it?
Yeah, it'll take bandwidth.
Oh shoot. Okay, it's too late already.
He'll be all right. He'll be all right.
Okay.
Yeah, I use food grade peroxide in my hot tub.
Yeah.
Instead of chlorine or bromide, yeah.
That's right. No, I was saying saltwater pools. If you're going to get a pool put in, get a saltwater pool. That's luxurious and it's good for you.
Exactly. Yeah, I've heard a lot about that.
I love them.
But here in Michigan, you only have a pool for 4 months.
Kingsley's hooked up, I believe.
We finally got Kingsley straight from Africa. Can you hear us, Kingsley?
He's having some...
Yeah, we heard your microphone for a minute there. You were wrestling. There you are.
Are you there, Kingsley?
Yeah, I'm there. I can hear you guys.
Oh, great. Welcome to the show, man.
Yeah,
Welcome,
thank
Kingsley.
you. Thank you very much.
So that's great. I'm so glad you got to join us. It is morning over there. You're in Equatorial Guinea.
Yes, exactly.
Right. And so we were kind of curious about what news you have from your side of the globe about Ebola. What are they telling you?
Well, over here, I could say, because we have all our borders have been closed here in Africa.
All your borders?
And, yeah, the borders. In order for the Ebola not to, let's say, penetrate over countries daily, that was why they did it. So, over here right now, we don't have any cases of Ebola in Equatorial Guinea. But since I'm a Nigerian, in my country right now, we have been hearing cases of Ebola, and it's like moving daily. And the other day we heard of Senegal having Ebola. I think it was 2 days ago. We heard about Senegal being a little bit Ebola.
Wow.
Ebola has been there. Yeah.
And all your flights are canceled. Is that correct?
Yeah. That's it. All the flights have been canceled.
Yeah. And then did they let up for a while? Because I know we talked about a week ago and the flights were canceled. So did they open up at any point, or are they constantly closed, the flights and the borders?
Well, when I told you about the flights have been canceled the last week ago, it was not that effective because some people could travel and come back. But really, yesterday we heard of total cancel. Everything went cancelled yesterday.
Wow. Wow. So you said that there's no, because there's different countries. There's obviously Guinea and then Equatorial Guinea. And they're not even, they don't even share a border, do they?
No, they don't share a border. No. They don't share a border.
Okay.
Well, we share a border with Cameroon.
I see, with Cameroon, yeah. Well, I was telling people, when you were not able to connect, I was telling people to please look it up if they want to know where Equatorial Guinea is. And what else is on your mind, man? Like, what else is going on in the news over there?
Right now, Ebola, it has caused some sort of economic crisis right now because it's unable because Equatorial Guinea depends on imports. Even their food, everything depends on imports. So since the imports are no more functioning, it's like bringing a type of economic crisis. Like food don't come over here, things are very expensive. It's like it's like a country that depends on another one. So that's what we are facing right now over here.
Wow. And, so are you finding that you're experiencing a shortness in supplies right now? Are you short in supply of food and other things?
That's it. We are like short of African foods, like all what we like tomatoes, all those things, onions to eat, but the European goods they are fully in supply. Yeah.
That's interesting.
I see. Wow.
Yeah. That's it.
Very interesting. And then my husband is in the background asking, what about water? How's your water supply?
Well, since Equatorial Guinea also, it's an island. It's close to water. It's surrounded by water. So we are we have good water over here. So we don't have water, although some are also imported, but now we are full in supply of water.
Okay, good. That's good. Well, I'm very glad you joined the call. And anybody have any questions for Kingsley that is on the call? Hello? Anybody out there?
I'm here.
Hey, Noreen. Kingsley, this is Noreen. And then we also have on the call Stephen, Wally, Rectify, and myself, Angela. So, Noreen, did you have a question for Kingsley?
No, I'm just amazed at Equatorial Guinea. I've heard of it. And you said this neighbor's Nigeria? If I'm not mistaken.
Cameroon.
Cameroon, okay.
Yeah. Cameroon,
And Kingsley, you said you're from Nigeria.
Yeah. I've also been in Cameroon, so I'm into business here in Equatorial Guinea, so I'm with my dad. So I'm a Nigerian. I've been to Cameroon, I schooled in Cameroon. Now I'm doing business in Equatorial Guinea.
And what kind of business?
Well, we deal with imports of plastics, polythene bags, all those things, and some sort of foodstuffs also.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow. So your business is somewhat affected by what is going on over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Wow. We definitely are going through the beginning stage, well, not the beginning stages, but we are going through economic crisis here in America. However, I don't think it's anywhere near what you guys are going through over there with the possibilities of, continued borders being closed, trade being stopped, travel being stopped, imports, exports being stopped because of the closing of all of the transportation. So it could get really bad really quick on your end of the globe.
Yeah,
there.
that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. Because if it's like extended to a month or two, I think many people will be affected. Some people will even die. That's it. That's it.
Wow. My husband's asking, what's the largest city in Equatorial Guinea?
Well, Equatorial Guinea, it's divided also. Malabo is the capital, and that's where in which I am.
Malabo?
Yeah, Malabo.
Malabo.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up. Let's see. Here we go.
I'm looking on Google right now, and I found, is it MBALMAYO?
No, it's MALABO.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It's Malabo. M-A-L-A-B-O-E, yeah.
Yeah, that's
I'm
it.
still looking.
I'm looking, Bill. Okay.
So are you seeing any NATO troops in your vicinity anywhere on the borders, or have you heard of any NATO troops? Or is it local military and law enforcement that are closing the borders?
Wow. No, I've not heard of anything of such. We are like, the country also has its own type of security. They are like, what would I say? We are just a type in the country also. Everyone is like in a sort of hiding also just because of their security. We don't do things of the net, try to do some type of research. They are like, I don't know if if they are tracing it, but I'm not sure. So we don't check their security signals.
I'm looking up right now at the request of my husband. He's right here. Say hi.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm fine. Hello.
Hello.
So it looks like the population of Equatorial Guinea is around 173,000, and the population of Malabo is 30,418, something like that. Well, that was the latest sentence. And 0.2. No, I'm kidding.
That's the largest city.
I don't know if it's the largest city, honey. I don't know yet. I'm still looking. Is it the largest city, Malabo?
Yeah, Malabo is the largest city because it is full of the inhabitants and also people from different countries also. It's a most popular place, the places where people love to visit. That's the Malabo. Because it's their capital also.
Kingsley, I have a friend asking me, do you guys see drones possibly in your area or anything like that?
No. We don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rectify, you're on Skype right now saying that there's a caller. How do we get that in here?
We got a new number. We were having problems with the 347 number, so that's actually to the station there.
Okay.
So we have a number.
Okay. You want to give it out?
Yeah, it's area code 562-912-3502. Again, 562-912-3502. We're talking with Angela Black, myself, Rectify Kingsley, from Equatorial Guinea out of Africa, giving us an update there on the Ebola. All the borders are shut down. We have Stephen D. Kelley on with us, as well as Wally and Noreen Helphand. But yeah, that's the number. Get in here if you have any questions. 562-912-3502. Thanks, Justin, engineer over at the station, for making that happen. Yeah.
Oh, guys, sorry, Rectify. I just want to say hi real quick to Kingsley. I'm Steve. Hi, how you doing? But sorry, I was on mute all this time listening to you guys, so I thought I'd better say it.
I figured you'd have some questions. I was wondering.
Well, I was responding to this press from this press TV. Some guy was going, "Oh, how do we know he's CIA, NSA?" And I'm like, "Oh, dude, I'm going to go read my book, or something like that." But,
yeah.
So I was messing with that, and I heard Rectify, and I thought, I better get back into the conversation here. Sorry, guys. But anyway, yeah, Kingsley, I was going to ask you, have you seen any activity with, like, the Army or anybody, the police getting kind of tough, like they're kind of watching people to make sure they don't freak out about things, happening?
Over here, what I can say about that is, like, the country, they have, it's an island, so there are some sort of strict security that are being, I don't know, it's by the president, because it's not like a democratic republic, because the country is like, I can't say, but this somehow, I don't know, it's somehow their own secret in Equatorial Guinea. The country is like, it's like a one-man nation. is over control over everything. That's it. That's their president. So it's like everyone is afraid of him. It's like the ancient days, you see. But what I can say is that they are afraid. They are afraid of losing their country. They are afraid of many things. Since they are not enough in population, they are like, what can I say? It's like they are afraid. That's it.
Do you think they're listening to us right now?
No, I don't think so.
Good, huh?
No.
Good for you.
Hey, you guys. It's very important, I think, that we have Kingsley with us tonight. Really, I want to say this, but just real quickly, we'll revert back to whatever he wants to say. I just want to give a shout out to Cynthia. She's a fellow Buddhist friend of mine here in Orange County, California, and I kind of turned her on to the station, but she's really, you guys, she is so impressed by what the subject matters have been tonight, and thanks to everyone here, and you, Kingsley, being, I guess, kind of new. It's really amazing for you to share with us from Africa, because you guys, if I'm not mistaken, we don't get too many people as of now. I mean, maybe in the future we will, but we haven't had too many callers from Africa, so you're maybe one of the few. We've had, of course, Stephen Kelley's had people from Syria and Ukraine and Russia, and then of course we have callers from all over the world. But yeah, I think you might be one of the few first African people. So this is really
hell yeah.
Yeah, it's very impressed. I mean, this is really cool.
I think so too. Thank you.
You're going to be famous, Kingsley. It's kind of scary though, because where you're at though, it's kind of, that's what I was saying. You don't want to. What we do is kind of dangerous, and where you are, it might be kind of dangerous to be talking to us. To be honest with you, They might think, who's this Kingsley guy? Talking and telling him that I'm the bad guy that's running the country and da-da-da,
Yeah,
right?
That's true, really, yeah, that's true.
So
actually,
yeah. Well,
in a country like this, it's like, okay, I know in the USA there can be some sort of control, let's say, I don't know, that's the normal word that they call it over here, control, when they are like trying to, the immigration, because everyone here is in immigration, that's it. They just disturb the foreigners, they are like, what will I say, they are like insulting to the strangers, because they feel they are so important in their country. That's it. Me, I'm now okay because I have a resident permit that permits me to go to whatever I want to do. I'm now a little bit okay. But aside of that, I can be like right now. I'm on a run. I'm ready to run because of the police that are here. It's like an insult to the strangers over here. We are not that free in anything. We are not that free. We are like in a hideout.
Wow.
Wow.
In a hideout. Yeah.
That's very interesting. So you have police in urban assault vehicles and things with are they all over?
Yeah, that's true. That's it.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow. So is there a curfew? Is there a curfew at night?
Well, they just to them they do it just to earn money, but it's like discriminating someone. But to them it's like a pleasure. They do it for pleasure, to look for money. But us, it's like a discriminative act. That's
wow.
it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a
so
big
that's scary. Yeah, that's almost bigger than Ebola, huh? See. Seriously.
That's it. Seriously. So when they talk about Ebola, it's as if we are used to it. That's it.
yeah, exactly. There's bigger issues going on in his country, no doubt.
Yeah.
Huh, for sure.
That's it.
So that's why it's scary, see, because seriously, we're talking to guys who are like, like these guys in Syria, they like Assad, the president over there, so it's no problem. And the guys over in different countries, they represent those countries. But where you're at, saying something, talking to us on the radio, making noise, can get you in trouble. So we have to be kind of careful about that. So whatever the president's name is, long live the president and all that, right?
That's it. Truly.
Yeah. Seriously. So when we're talking about Ebola, we'll stop talking about politics because the president's a good guy, right? We'll leave it on those notes, huh? Yeah. Anyway, for Kingsley's benefit, obviously, and his family and everybody else, ultimately.
Yeah.
So that's a bigger deal, huh? I mean, there's probably, who knows what we could talk about, but I'll tell you though, this lack of the trade, like you said, the fact that they're using this Ebola as an excuse to stop the planes going back and forth. Remember, it is an island. They need that commerce, and they need that fresh food, and they need all that stuff to come in, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's an island so much as it's on the ocean, but it's actually part of the continent.
Peninsula or
It's
something?
to the map. It's part of the continent, yeah. But it is on the ocean. It is in Western Africa on the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
That's really
Got a huge water border on it.
Yes.
Basically. All right. Either way, yeah. Well, like I said, though, he's kind of ducking all this hard stuff because it is still a real dangerous place to live, probably, and everybody's kind of staying out of the way because the guys that run the show, you don't want to fall under their glance, right? You want to go, what's this guy doing? Let's check him out, or worse, right? So, but anyway, so I'm sure he's doing a wonderful job running the country and blah blah blah, right? We're here to talk about Ebola, Ebola, scary.
Yeah. Truly.
Seriously, but no, seriously, what do you think about the issue? I mean, obviously over here they're freaking out, and I think it's an excuse to get everybody shot in the arm, like Angela was saying, with an RFID chip or something, a little robot, who knows what, some crazy technology they're just waiting to shove in our blood,
That's true.
They'll probably try it on you guys first, huh? Who knows?
Yeah.
Well, I'm surprised though the thing that supposedly cured it is actually made from tobacco product, and so it's coming from a major American tobacco manufacturer. So all of a sudden, a company that sells tobacco has found a way to save the earth instead of being associated with death. It's kind of a very ironic, but yeah, that's the deal. The cure is coming from a tobacco product. Kind of weird, huh? Yeah.
Everything kind of has its balance and the irony of the yin yang like that. Just like, power, nuke power, you can use it for good or evil. Fire was one of the first things, right? You burn somebody, or you can heat them up and keep them warm.
Yeah,
cook
right.
their food.
Yeah. Yeah, they say fire was a curse, though, because it was given to us to trick us into cooking our food, because when it was not cooked, there was more energy. When it was raw, it was supposed to be good for us. And as soon as we started cooking it, we started killing off all the energy. See, they did that on purpose to make us weak.
Damn Prometheus.
Damn Prometheus. It was a trick. Damn you, Prometheus. Anyway, that's what they say. The vegans would love to hear that, but technically there's some sting to it, because when you're eating, like, green stuff, it's got all sorts of energy. It's still alive. It's kind of like, okay, I'm going to eat you. Okay, you may eat me. It's like, seriously, there's something going on there. You're getting
some harmony. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some aura. There's energy. You're getting some chi flow that you wouldn't get otherwise when it's been boiled away. Yeah, seriously, they took. Sorry about that, Kingsley, but they take these. They're called Kirlian photographs, and they show the rays, like the biofield going around it, the aura. And when it's bright green, like a piece of broccoli, it's real strong, okay? But if it's steamed, it's kind of broken up a little bit. But if it's boiled, it's like gone, So in other words, if you steam it, you're still getting a little bit, but if you eat it raw, you get it all. So that's how that works, It's like life. It's like kosher meat, right? Bless it while the energy's being drained off.
Yeah.
Trippy, huh? Well, it's like blessing your food. It's the same thing. When I pick the basil off my thing to put on my sandwich, I say, I'm going to eat these leaves now. Thank you, See you next
I wonder
time.
if it's the opposite, speaking of the duality, with putting these fetal matter in the chemtrails and part of the binary duality there. We're going to be right back, everybody. Stay tuned. We got another hour. Hopefully Kingsley from Africa could stick around. This is the Gray Zone. Give us 3 minutes. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message.
Who owns you? If you're not in control, then someone else is. Join me, Ivy West, for Voices on the Wind, Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern in Studio A. I discuss government, health, metaphysics, suppressed science, universal mysteries, little-known incredible facts, alternative energies, and even more than you can imagine.
There was blood on the wire.
Won't you join us on Revolution Radio Saturdays from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern for Voices on the Wind with me, Ivy West.
There are lives in the balance, people under fire, children at the cannons.
Because if your head's in the sand, your tail is a target.
Hi everybody, it's me, the Fetch, host of Inside the Eye Live. Before the Sunday mainstream media political pundit talk shows, there's Inside the Eye Live, where we break down some of the weekly mainstream media talking points before the talking points even get aired. Add in some entertaining stories, weather, cats, intriguing and informative guests, and you get one of the most listened to Saturday morning streaming media political talk shows going today. And it's all right here on our flagship station, Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. So join me, the Fetch, for Inside the Eye Live every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern. It is truly intelligent media for the politically aware.
I have worked with CIA, NSA, Templars, and Bilderbergers. Now I work for you. My show will disclose secrets, science, and esoteric knowledge. Join me, Stephen D. Kelley, for 2 hours every Thursday night at 10 o'clock Eastern Time on freedomslips.com, Revolution Radio, Studio A. You can also listen to previous shows by going to youtube.com/Free Revolution Radio.
Anti-aircraft guns went into action against unidentified aircraft in the Los Angeles area shortly after 3 a.m. Pacific wartime this morning.
You're far stronger than we were 10 weeks ago.
Zero corners, all hands at your battle stations.
Nervous Master Cole. I'll do the mastermind around here.
You who have not seen it do not know what hell looks like from the top.
Well, check it out every Tuesday and Saturday on Revolution Radio. It's a double dose of the internationally recognized renegade military historian Douglas Dietrich.
You'll stay right where you are until I tell you to move out.
Yeah, that's right. Tuesdays from 10 to midnight Eastern Time. Join Douglas Dietrich as he exposes the truth in hidden history on his show Critical Omissions. And then our human weapon of mass destruction is back once again to take your calls on Saturday Night Firing Lines. Both from 10 to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Only on Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com.
This is Thomas, a.k.a. a Mad Painter. I'd like you to join me Monday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Open Canvas. Don't forget to bring an open mind.
Yes, folks, that's right. Bring an open mind to an open canvas. Again, that is Monday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern. You opposed to government corruption. This is Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. You don't need to expect us. We're already here. Revolution Radio. You're listening to Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to your host.
Welcome to the TheGrayZone Roundtable, Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. 100% listener-supported radio. No corporate ties, corporate duct tape dictating our freedom of speech. It shall remain that way as long as we are supported by you. Join us, 347-688-2902. Enter the Gray Zone.
Welcome back to the Gray Zone. It is the round table here on Tuesday mornings on Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. The number one 100% listener-supported talk radio station on the interwebs. And we're very happy to have you here if you're listening in. There are a variety of ways to join us. You can join us in the chat at freedomslips.com. Just go to the chat button at the top of the homepage and get yourself a nickname. Come on in the chat room. We're a big, happy family in the chat room. We really are. And we love having a debate and exchange of information, etc. It's a great place to be if you are looking for something to do with your idle hands. Otherwise, you can also listen to us in other ways. I think you can hear us on Tuned In, and I think iTunes carries us as well. I don't know if we're still on Spreaker, but of course, there are a variety of ways to find us, and I'm sure if you're listening, then you already know. So let's see what else. We are 100% listener supported, as I just mentioned. So if you can find a few pennies, dollars, or I don't know. Rubles? Yeah, rubles, there you go, or some yen? Yeah, some yen, or a few other, whatever, euros, whatever you've got. Basically, we're looking for you to help the station stay kicking, because we don't take payoffs from politicians. We don't take buy-offs from corporate sponsors. So we're happy that you are here listening to what we regard as free speech. It's an amazing Truth Network. We have studios A and B. Please do check us out. And also, if you'd like to call in tonight, there are a variety of ways to join this round table, and that is 562-912-3502. I'm going to repeat that number, 562-912-3502. And that's the way to call us if you're not on Skype. And if you are on Skype, Freedom Screen would be great. You just add the contact Freedom Screen, and we will accept you as a friend quickly and bring you into the call. And we're hoping some other people join us tonight. We are joined. Of course, my wonderful co-host. Actually, I'm his co-host. I'm the wing woman. The host of this particular show is Rectify. And we are also joined by Stephen D. Kelley of Revolution Radio and other amazing things. Wally Ladd, one of the family members here on this amazing station. Noreen Helphand, a hostess with the mostest. And then we are also joined by Kingsley. I think it's Ukenna. Is that how you say it? Ukenna? Anyway, he's calling from...
Uchenna.
Uchenna?
Uchenna.
Yeah, Uchenna. Yeah.
Uchenna. And Kingsley is calling us from Equatorial Guinea via Skype, and we're very thrilled to have him here on this roundtable. We were talking about some interesting factoids. So I think I covered it all. Yeah?
Angela, I think you did cover it all, but it's turning it's 3 o'clock here in the east of the lower 48, and I got to hit the bed and, Rectify, it's wonderful. Angela, always nice to hear you. Stephen, I enjoy. Noreen, and Kingsley, nice meeting you. God bless you. Be safe. Eyes open. We're thinking of you. We don't like what's going on, and we feel for you over there because we know what's really going on. So you be safe, eyes open. Everybody have a wonderful Tuesday. And I've got to saw some logs here.
Oh, okay.
Good night, Wally.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Good night.
Thank you.
Have a good one, Wally. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I think I covered everything. Now, I don't know if we're continuing on with this discussion. I was going to start talking about the drought a little bit, but I think we were still in the midst of learning a little bit about Equatorial Guinea and that type of thing. I don't know if anything else is on your mind that you want to discuss right now, Kingsley, or if anyone has any questions. I'll look at the chat as well at on the website and see if anybody's got any questions for you.
Yeah, and if it's sometimes a lot of people have a hard time remembering Freedom Slips or freedomslips.com. Another way to remember it is revolution-radio.com. It's
cool.
Pretty easy there. So yeah, click that chat room, come in there, put your questions in all capitals. That way we know you're screaming a question at us. We do look. We will read it. We will answer it if we can.
Indeed.
All right.
Well, I guess.
Go ahead, Kingsley.
I guess I could wait for your questions. I'm all ears to answer.
What is it safe to talk about? I mean, we know the economy is going to kind of be really awful because the trade's shut down, but is it awful already, or what is it safe to talk about? What's good going on? What do you see? Anything interesting?
Well, I think really for now we've got some sort of imports that could sustain for just 3 days or 4 days like that. But maybe by next week, if the borders are all closed, we are going to have some sort of deep economic problems, crisis, really. That's it.
So the bad stuff hasn't started yet.
Yeah.
So, but you haven't seen any military or any extra police yet?
No. We haven't got any extra police or exceptional military forces. Yeah.
Kingsley, this is Bill Blackwell, Angela's husband. How you doing?
No, I'm okay. I'm all right.
Good. Hey, listen. So how many healthcare facilities or hospitals do they have in the city that you're in? And have you seen, an influx, or have you heard about an influx of people going in with regards to, this Ebola condition?
Well, from the beginning, I said Ebola, we have not been having some sort of cases of Ebola here in Equatorial Guinea because it's an island and it's very strict in movements, like traveling and going out and coming in. So we are like, Ebola hasn't getting over here, so we are like, we are safe. And more to that, we are like, the hospitals over here, I don't think they've got those type of facilities to control Ebola if in case we've got some sort of cases. So that's it.
Now I'm assuming most of your agriculture, your food, is considered an import for the majority of your region. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's true.
Do you guys have any sort of internal farming, agriculture at all? Any export? Anything that's that could sustain?
Well, it's still, I could say the strength of that is still poor for now. The strength of that is still poor for now. So I don't think internal food, it can sustain enough, can sustain.
So the markets are still running. They're just getting bare.
Yeah.
Wow. And would you say you live in the suburbs or more of the city?
Well, I'm really in the city because I'm at Semu. Semu, it's like a major town in Equatorial Guinea. It's very popular and It's in the city.
You think it would be safer to be in the city and just locked down in your own house, or to run from the cities and go outward?
Well, I guess I could say I'm safe. I'm safe wherever I may be. Wherever I may be, I'm safe, and wherever I am, I'm safe. That's it.
No fear. That's the way to be.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. No fear.
So now I'm looking here. It says there's an island. So there's mainland, and then there's also an island, or there's a few islands, or.
Well, right. The islands are, I guess,
Bioko?
They are. Yeah, Bioko Norte. You know, it's a Spanish country, okay? It was like colonized by Spain. That's it. So it's a Spanish country. Yeah.
I see. And it's saying here that the main food crop is cassava and sweet potatoes and bananas.
Yeah.
I posted a picture, you guys, of a dish. Do you recognize it?
You're so silly.
Kingsley. I know. Well, no. For some reason we got to talk about food, and she mentioned bananas, and I think that looks like a banana dish. I got it off Google. Sorry.
This kind of ties in where 4 of us here are from, which is California, because our agricultural vicinity is in trouble right now because of drought and
Fukushima.
You know, over here, truly, their main source of food is like cassava. There's what we call cocoyams.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know it?
Cocoyams? Cocoyams?
Yeah.
No.
Cocoyams.
Sweet potatoes?
Yep. Sort of.
No, not sweet potato.
Oh.
It's different from sweet potato.
Wow, I never tried it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm looking up. I don't know what cassava is. It's like a root.
It's like potatoes. Okay. It's like potatoes also. So we eat it also, but I'm not used to that. There's a type of traditional food that they used to make with it over here in Guinea, Equatorial. But I'm sure cassava is all over Africa.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Well. Okay, let's see. I don't know. I think we're all at a loss here. We're like, wow, what do we ask him? What do we ask him?
I'm going to assume that you're going to start seeing the U.S. drop supplies. That's usually in the past, at least when life was quote-unquote normal, would happen.
Well, you guys, I got some questions for Kingsley. How old are you, Kingsley?
I'm okay.
No, I said, how old are you? Just if you don't mind me asking.
No. It's okay. I'm exactly 22 years old.
22. You might have even said that earlier. I don't remember.
Happy birthday, man.
Is it exactly like today?
Yeah?
Is it your birthday today?
Well, anyway.
It's
today?
Thanks. Not
oh my gosh,
today
happy
precisely.
Birthday.
Yeah, well. Anyway, Kingsley.
Thank you, guys.
Are you working? Are you, do you have what do you do?
He and his father have an import-export plastic company.
A plastic company?
Yeah, polyurethane bags and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, polythene bags. That's it.
Cool.
Interesting.
What do you do? Do you handle accounts, or what do you do? Do you actually have to work, or do you have it made?
Well, we deal with supplies also. We have many people in Guinea Equatorial, like Lebanon, Chad, China's, many of them. So they deal with some of our goods also. So we import to them in large quantities and also in some sort of retail quantities.
All right. Well, it sounds kind of luxurious. I don't know. I mean, you drive a Mercedes or what? Yeah, something good, huh?
No, I don't have a car yet.
No?
I don't have a car yet.
Oh,
no, I don't have a car.
How about your dad? Your dad drive a Mercedes? maybe?
No, that's in Nigeria. We once owned a car, but the car is in Nigeria. Over here, things are really expensive over here. So it's like we are not up to that standard.
I see. Oh well, geez, Well, anyway, sorry about that.
I got that email, Stephen. It was from Nigeria.
No. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Have you guys ever been to Nigeria?
No.
No, I haven't.
He was making a joke. There's the 419 scam. You've probably heard about the 419 scam. Yeah.
He laughs.
Wow. Truly. My brothers are killing people.
Oh my God, it's terrible.
My brothers are killing people with the 419 stuff. Yeah, that's true.
So it's so bad. It's just like every day you got, I mean, I've been to websites that used to play with the call them Mugus, of course. Of course they call us Mugus, but you know what I mean. And it was really funny. Some of the things you could get these people to do when they thought that you were going to give them money, you make them jump, take pictures of themselves and naked and what have you. It's holding up funny signs because they don't read English very well. It's crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm kind of over it. But it's not as bad as it was. But when I get these things in the mail, and sometimes it's like the big thing now is posing as young women, getting a couple pictures of a girl and making a Facebook profile, and it's some guy in Ghana or some guy in Accra or wherever, and you just know it, because there's little giveaways. Like usually they'll like certain music that the little white girl probably wouldn't listen to, or sports teams that the little girl would probably be into. And the first couple friends on the list will be these, black guys. It's like, okay, this isn't too subtle here, It's
I'm going to interject for a second and just say there's a question in chat for Kingsley. Kingsley, somebody in our audience is asking you just how restrictive is the movement in your region, and how much more restrictive do you expect it to get with the Ebola, not in your country, but, do you think it's going to get even more strict? Because that's what a chatter is asking. And I know you told me that all the flights are canceled and all the borders are closed. So does that include the ports, since you are on the ocean? And, can people take off into the ocean and sail away, or, is that closed too?
Truly, that's a nice question, because the ports also have been closed, because that's really the major places where goods enter to the country. So right now everything has been closed. They are like, truly, if Ebola, if it keeps on going like this, the country will be more strict, yeah. And in a case where they will say a day, let's say we could get up in the morning and they told us that Ebola is now in Guinea, Equatorial, it's going to be more strict. That's true. It's going to be more strict.
Yeah, so it's going to get more strict as time goes on. I hope that answers your question in chat. That was, I think it's Sanobeam. Is that how I think that's the name of the chatter. I've never, nice to meet you, Sanobeam. And also a shout out to my boy Audio Murphy in the chat room. Yo, Audio, what up? And of course,
Audio, this guy named Jones says, what's up also, brother?
Wow, Audio Murphy in the house. And Kingsley, I just want to say welcome to your new celebrity. You are now going to be expected to call in whenever you can.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, you're our new correspondent from Africa.
Thank you, guys.
Hey. Okay. Anybody else in chat and also everyone's wishing you to be very safe and good luck. Also, Kingsley, that's what people are saying in the chat room. Have you joined the chat room? Are you able to do that?
No, I've not joined the chat room. I'm just on the show right now.
Okay, that's okay. Well, it's really great to have you here. So, let's see. Now, so you have water there. You said all the ports are also closed.
Yeah, all the ports are now closed, and truly no exports, no imports. That's it for now.
Wow. That's really going to take it's going to have a major effect very soon if it hasn't already.
What is the punishment for someone that tries to cross the border and gets caught? Is it death or is it imprisonment?
It's a good question.
Oh, God. Truly, I think that will be death because you know,
Bless
I told you the government is very strict, so that will be
So they
death.
would try to kill you? They would kill you if you try to cross?
Yeah, that's it. Because it has been
my
placed as a restriction. It's now restricted. So you don't go against above the government's law. That's it over here.
Wow. Yeah, you know, we talk about the police state here, and it does happen from time to time. You know, we have, armed, militarized police here, but we aren't going through the level of I want to say quarantine, if you will, that you are going through. We don't, you know, they aren't shooting people if they go near the borders of, different countries, et cetera. So
They're testing all their robots on us. They're using technology on us.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different farm, basically. Different experiments, different laboratory. For instance, yesterday I was traveling. You guys are probably familiar with the 241 toll road here in Southern California.
Yes. Oh.
Well, I haven't been on it in a while, so I'm going out to the Inland Empire. I'm heading east, and I hop on this thing, and I'm a cash payer normally, so I'll stop at a toll booth, and I'll give the person working there, the couple bucks it takes to drive the road, right? Well, to my astonishment, they were all permanently coned off. They put permanent mergers in. They closed off all cash lanes, and they basically installed camera systems over every lane with flashes that takes a picture of your plates. And they have nice little convenient signs on the side of the road saying, you don't have to stop anymore. You can keep driving. We're just going to set up an internet account bill for you. And this is all automated. That's scary. I mean, and all those jobs lost, number one. I mean, that's... But the fact that now they are scanning every driver, you can't even be an anonymous cash payer during your travels. They already have all the signals.
You know where this is going to go rectified? Next thing they're going to say, oh, this guy doesn't have his insurance. Oh, this guy has a ticket outstanding. Oh, this guy has a warrant. So, and then car will be waiting, a little transponder, and as soon as you pop through there, oh, we have no insurance. Oh, we have a no registration.
What's scary? The cop could even be asleep. I've got an article here on how basically one of the NSA's biggest contractors are the cops. It's going to be artificial intelligence, a scanner within every cop car that can scan and process up to 2,000 license plates a day on its own. I mean, the cop could be just pulled over sleeping, and this camera will pick up the car as it passes, look for warrants, do warrant checks. It'll take the speed of the vehicle. I mean, soon we're going to have can you imagine that? We're going to have bot cops. So we're not going to even have, these cars are going to be automated Google cops. By 2020 here, the only cars that speak to each other will be allowed on the road. It's international.
It's going to be evil. Can you imagine Kingsley having that? Sorry.
Truly.
Yeah, such problems.
RoboCop.
It's all about technologies now. It's all about technologies.
Yeah.
So I guess that will be normal for now, since it's a security purpose. So
yeah, there'd be your robot cars though, right? But if you had a warrant, they wanted you for questioning. It's like, oh wow, why am I not going here? Well, we're taking you down to the courthouse.
Props again to California's Governor Brown. He
wonderful man.
He made it permanent. He said we're not going to accept automatic cars that are driven by themselves here in California unless they have steering wheels.
That's true, but to what I can add to that is that there could be a day when they could react to humans. That's it. So they could be like some sort of destructive. That's it.
Right.
If they are like
herders. Yeah, then we're really in trouble.
That's true.
I hate it when my car murders me. I really do.
Right?
That's true, because it can be hacked by someone. Someone could hack your car and use it against you. That's it.
Hack it.
Right.
Yeah, sounds like a really scary movie is what it sounds like, but in real life.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
I want to be an RFID hacker once, everybody's got their chip. I want to go around and just mess with, the powers that be.
Yeah, it sounds like a movie. What's the movie? I'm sure they had a science fiction movie where they did that, right?
The movie is 007 like that. 007. James Bond.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's all James Bond. All this stuff is James Bond, huh? It's all a big conspiracy. Secret societies, secret agents. Oh, hell yeah. I'll tell you something. I don't know if you see it over where you're at, but there's a big deal. Like China is investing a lot of money in Africa, and they're building the massive amounts of infrastructure and large projects. And the United States is sort of in a competition kind of to keep up with them or keep them out of certain areas. Do you see any of that where you're at? Do you see China in your country?
Yeah. Over here, I could say there are too many. They come in, let's say, every day. They have all the construction companies over here. It's full of Chinese, everything. Even right in front of me right now, they are working. They have taken all the contracts over here because before I came to Guinea, Equatorial, I was told it was the Americans that were they had their construction companies over here, but now China has taken over, even in Cameroon. So I don't know, they are everywhere right now. They are everywhere. It's competitive. That's it.
Yeah, that's part of, see that right there, technically I knew guys who were, James Bond type spy guys, CIA type people, and that's what they did. They worked in Africa trying to keep on top of the Chinese and do everything they can to keep the Chinese from doing what they were doing over there, spending all that money and everything else. But yeah, that's another form of warfare right there, influence.
Yes, it is.
Right?
Really,
it is.
Really.
But China knows that eventually they'll become so wealthy that they're going to want to use Africa as their source of labor, and they'll build factories there and everything like that. So in other words, it's like Africa will be the new China, so to speak.
Let me ask you a question. So, okay, you've got construction contracts being taken over by the Chinese. What is the general description of your militarized police? Are they from Equatorial Guinea? Do you have Chinese? Who do you have as your police there? Are they local people or army?
Yeah, they are the local people.
I see.
No. Not Chinese. Yeah.
Okay, because here on our borders, on our borders, like with Mexico, does anybody want to elaborate about how we've got Chinese troops on the borders?
We're being invaded. We've got foreign troops in our soil, but that's because they know that when it comes time to try to take away our guns, that we'll shoot, and they know that American troops will not fire upon American citizens. So that's why they're bringing all these UN troops. And the UN troops are being brought in. That's why you see all these armored vehicles, because they're eventually going to get to the point where, because they've signed a treaty with the UN that says that they're going to take away the guns. Yeah, Obama signed a treaty with the UN that circumvented the Second Amendment. That's what I call treason. Normally you hang people for treason, but yeah, obviously you don't sell out the Constitution to an international body. That's violation of the Constitution, and nobody's called him on that, but yes, selling out the Second Amendment is certainly a violation of the Constitution. But either way, eventually they're going to try to enforce that, and that will require UN troops deployed all over the country, and they'll probably take advantage of a crisis like maybe, Ebola, to do that, But eventually, that's what they're gearing up to do. They're gearing up to go to war with the American citizen, and the American citizen they're gearing up to go to war with is the gun owner. It's all about taking away the guns. No gas chambers before you take away the guns, right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, are you guys allowed to carry guns in Equatorial Guinea? The citizens?
No, I don't think so, because it's a crime. It's a crime.
I see. And what about any type of weapon, like crossbows or any weapons? Can you have any form of defense? No? Wow.
No, you can't defend yourself. If you are into a situation, you just need to call the police.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it.
My husband is in the background asking if you can hunt, animals. So is there any type of, weapon that, yeah.
Well, if you are to do that, that means you need a security like a police with you, and that does not go to whosoever. It's like you being a foreigner coming to let's say you are a terror, you are like visiting the country. That's it.
So you need a tour guide, basically.
Yeah, that's it.
And that tour guide is armed, and he'll shoot you if you don't do it right.
That's it.
Nice. I want to go on a safari.
Safari.
So are you seeking refuge there in Guinea? And you're from Nigeria because are you seeking refuge from this Ebola? Is that why you're there?
No, because I came before the Ebola incident, before the Ebola outbreak. So I'm like doing business because I love business. I love business. That's it. So I'm just like with my dad, we are like hustling.
Hey man, I love money too.
Yeah, truly, that's it. So we are like hustling, over here.
But you were saying that you want to get out.
Truly, a hustler always need where it's good in making money, where you are like you are good in, like to me, I love being in Europe, in America, just to me it's big fun, but I'm in Africa, everything goes slowly, so things don't happen that fast that I think,
I have a question, Kingsley. Equatorial Guinea, because it's an island, would you say that, in your opinion, if you look at the continent of Africa, obviously there's so many, geopolitical, economic things going on. Would you say that Guinea, because it's an island, is somewhat, I don't want to say isolated literally.
Hold on, I'm just going to interrupt. It's Equatorial Guinea, and it's not an island, but there are islands involved, but a lot of it is on the mainland. I just want to point. Yeah.
Okay, I'm mistaken then. Okay. Well, it does seem like it's slightly remote, but maybe I'm wrong. Would you say that many people do go to this area to kind of, quote, escape? In other words, is it common to flee to this area is what I'm asking.
If you have the money, I'm saying.
Okay,
the people with the money, they go there, right?
Okay. Well, however.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ratify, you answered the question. Yeah, really, if you have the money, you just need to go to the country.
Okay.
Because everything there is expensive. Life in Equatorial Guinea is expensive. You just need to spend the money. That's it. It's all about spending the money. Yeah.
Okay. So it must be kind of an interesting place for tourists. Do you have a lot of tourists?
Yeah, many tourists, they visit, people from Paraguay, Uruguay, Brazil, China, even many are from Europe, so that's it. Many are from Europe, yeah.
But not right now, no visitors right now.
Yeah, really, no visitors right now, because everyone is afraid of Ebola.
Oh.
Yeah,
and the borders are closed, and the flights are canceled.
Yeah,
I don't even know what America would do. Yeah, if we had everything closed down like that, I think it would really start to tear down a lot of the mental stability, mental stability in the citizens, which would probably cause panic. I think a lot of people here would panic if that type of thing started to happen. And if we were to, obviously, it's very odd here. We've had a couple of shootings recently in a place called Ferguson, Louisiana. It's Louisiana, right? No, I'm sorry, Missouri. I'm sorry, I was thinking St. Louis in Louisiana. So they're televising this, they're televising that, instilling fear to the people and this type of thing. And I cannot imagine if people were really seeing actual violence, actual killing on a regular basis, just by trying to cross a border, just by trying to get onto, trying to cross a border. People being shot, killed that we don't see too much of around here. So I think it would really start to create a lot of panic. I don't know how submissive everyone would be.
That's true.
This is what's bothersome to me is he told the truth. He's, the love of money. That's the root of all evil, the love of money. Well, and there's a porous area he's in, and the people with the money can get in and out. They just pay off the border guards, right? So, how secure really is that area? It's not, because if you have the money, there's some schmo with the gun that's going to let you pass, and you might be infected.
Truly. Well, I don't know if I'm going to change the topic because we are still on Ebola issue, but in my country, I just heard of people evacuating an area where it has been affected. So, in Nigeria, we've got Lagos, Port Harcourt, and Enugu State. We deal with states also in the U.S. So we are in a state called Port Harcourt. Ebola I don't know if it was someone that was affected that went there. So people are now evacuating the area, that type of, they are afraid. They are being afraid. So they're someone is with Ebola and we just need to run to nowhere. We run to anywhere because we don't want to be affected. That's what is happening right now in Nigeria. Port Harcourt.
Sounds like a money siphoning scam. But out of Africa, no.
No way.
No way.
Everyone needs to be indoors now. You need to be in your house, thinking your home is safe. You are just hiding. That Ebola should not knock at your door.
Yeah, we've had that before here in the States. After 9/11 happened, our president told us, go shopping and buy duct tape and plastic for our houses.
Wow.
And I'm sure plenty of people did.
That's it. Everyone is afraid.
Right.
We all need security, yeah.
So that means I can make money if I scare someone good enough.
I'm gonna, speaking of real threats, etc., I'm gonna move on here for a bit, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about the drought that's going on in the western part of the United States, especially. California water infrastructure on the verge of an historic collapse. This coming from naturalnews.com. I think we've kind of run the gamut. I know there's no Ebola, luckily, in Equatorial Guinea, and we are going to move on, I think, if that's all right with everyone. Although it's been very excellent listening to different answers, different responses from Kingsley. And please do continue to hang out, Kingsley. I'm happy to have you here. So I'm going to do this article real quick. Water is increasingly hard to come by in drought-stricken California, and a lot of parts of Nevada as well, where many farmers are struggling to get enough water just to pay the bills. But the situation in the Golden State is far worse than many people realize, according to new reports, as underground aquifers that take decades to recharge are being sucked dry, and the water infrastructure that has long sustained the agricultural growing regions of the state continue their collapse. Writing for the Washington Post, journalist Joby Warwick draws attention to what many scientists say is an unprecedented collapse of California's vast water infrastructure, which is marked by an elaborate system of canals, reservoirs, and wells that transfer water from the mountains and other areas to Central Valley. Altogether, the state contains some 27 million acres of cropland, and now we're talking about California specifically. This system is now failing, say experts, and the consequences will more than likely be unparalleled in California's history. According to the report, many of California's underground aquifers, which are typically drawn upon as a last resort when all else fails, are now the go-to for watering food crops throughout the state. In some areas, these aquifers have dropped as much as 100 feet, an unprecedented decline that, even if this drought suddenly ended, would take likely several decades or longer to fully recharge. A well-managed basin is used like reserve bank accounts, stated Richard Howitt, a professor emeritus, is that how you say it, emeritus, of resource economics from the University of California at Davis, to WP, and that's the Washington Post. Howitt co-authored a study published back in July that estimates that a 5.1 million acre feet loss of the water this year from California's underground reserves, a volume the size of Lake Shasta, the state's largest water reservoir. We're acting like the super rich who have so much money they don't need to balance their checkbook. Thousands of California farmers could lose their land if the water runs out, and that's a big deal, people. I mean, we're talking about a huge drought. Everybody's talking about it in California, etc. It's you know, I'm looking forward to your commentary. There's a lot of people here from California, etc. I'm just going to read a little bit more here. Many farmers have no choice. They either have to pull the water now to save their crops or face potential bankruptcy and the loss of their farms. Because of the immense scarcity of water this year, some 60% of California is now recorded as being at the highest level of drought, dubbed exceptional drought. Many farmers didn't even receive a share from the infrastructure. One such farmer, Joe Carrancho, who grows rice in Willows, California, says he's a 71-year-old man who says that he's lost 25% of his usual water allotment this year, and he is considered lucky since some farmers have received no water at all, and they're not getting any rain, obviously, not really, I mean a couple of spurts here and there, and is now struggling to make payroll, this farmer Joe Carrancho. He is also having to make payments on a $500,000 rice harvester that, despite the water losses, still costs the same every month. So he has 25% less production, and no one's giving him a 25% break in his bills, etc. Lawmakers propose drastic water restrictions to avoid collapse. Agriculture is by far the largest water consumer in the state, representing about 40% of California's water usage, or even more than 40%. Even with about 35 million residents, California's urban areas only account for about 9% of overall water usage, which is minimal in the larger scheme of things. So you're looking at over 40% of the water used in California is for crops, and that's just not happening anymore. So state lawmakers are moving to impose tighter water restrictions, including a $7.5 million bond measure that, if passed this fall, would expand the state's reservoir system and improve water recycling and other conservation efforts. Last paragraph right here. We've reached a tipping point where the surface water is no longer enough, yet there are increasing demands from both agriculture and the environment, added groundwater management expert and hydrologist Graham Fogg to the Washington Post. So just thought I'd, just maybe kick off this topic a little bit and see what you guys have to say, being, people that live in California. I think all of you do except for Kingsley and myself. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yes.
Yeah, so how is it affecting you? What are your thoughts? What are your concerns?
First of all, I gotta say, we got a $500 fine if we friggin' take our hose to our driveways and clean our cars and do simple things like that. It's stupid.
We lost 63 trillion gallons of water in the past 18 months. So much that's actually making the ground rise.
Okay, guys. All right, my turn. All right. First thing, I want to say three things. First thing is there's no such thing as wasting water. When I go out and water my lawn, it goes into the ground. That fills the aquifer. That's the whole purpose. The water that's how the water gets into the aquifer. If it evaporates, it becomes clouds, and it travels on and rains somewhere else. It's not wasted. The only way it's wasted is if they frack it, and they take billions of gallons of water to frack and try to squeeze out some natural gas to sell to China or whoever for money for their pocket. They don't give a damn that they're filling our aquifers with poison, and they're very responsible. Then you've got companies like Nestle, multi-billion, multinational company, coming into these zones like, they bought Arrowhead Water, and now they're pumping water out of the aquifers by probably 1 billion gallons, again, to ship to places other than Southern California. The legislators, first thing they should do is tell Nestle, no more draining the aquifers right away. No more bottled water for the rest of the country. There's plenty of water in the rest of the country. Let them drink water from their neighborhoods. That's the first thing. The next thing is stop the fracking automatically. Obviously, you don't take good water and you poison it and then go, oh, now it's waste. They've taken good water and reduced it to non-water. Otherwise, evaporates and goes through a cycle and rains and it stays water. But as soon as you add those poisons, forget it. It's over. It's dead water. And that's what they're doing by the billion of gallons. And that's what we should be talking about. Ban fracking and stop the exportation of bottled water from drought zones, because that's exactly what they're doing. You look at where the drought zones are, that's where they're pumping the water and they're putting it in little plastic bottles and selling it all over the country. So that's right there. Big factor.
I'd imagine Nestle's going to try to patent H2O, instead of H20, and go for selling that. And yeah,
it's actually H2O. It's the letter O for oxygen. It's not.
That's right. See, it's late. I'm no chemist. Okay. I'm an electrical guy.
That's okay. So I'm kind of looking here at the Nestle thing. I'm seeing a couple of quotes and misquotes on my Google search. Nestle denies that water is a fundamental human right. Nestle says that water is a human right. I don't know what the deal is. I'm still
They're evil as hell. I love my I've been drinking Arrowhead water, which used to come from Mount Arrowhead, which is a mountain nearby, which had water and springs and everything was lovely, and they bottled that spring water, and that was Arrowhead water. They come here and they buy that company along with all the other companies, and then they pump the water from everywhere and call it by the product that sells the most in one area or another. But they've adulterated the product, and it's very sad.
Oftentimes you'll see that the source of water in a bottle says MWS, which is municipal water source, which basically means, coming out of a tap, pretty much, So that's also very interesting. Anyway, so drought, yeah, I mean, what's interesting is, so Noreen, you're telling me that they'll fine you $500 if you hose off your driveway? And you get
pretty much.
See, now, again, I was just reading that only 9% of the water consumption in California is consumed by cities and the citizens of cities or civilians. It's mostly agriculture. So it's very interesting to me that, they're going to try to make a buck off of drought, by finding
people, exactly.
Yeah.
Revenue collection.
Right.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, now, and let's talk about the fact that, I don't know if it's this way in California. I should probably look this up. But in some states, it's actually illegal to collect rainwater or have a I think in Australia they have some things that collect dew in the morning, et cetera, because they were in a big drought for like 10 years, and it was mandatory that you collected, any moisture that you could at that time. I mean, that they had to install, certain devices on their roofs, that type of thing. Their showers were just a bare trickle of water, etc. So, I mean, it's very interesting that how we're dealing with it. Basically, what they're doing here is just, charging everybody for keeping their well manicured front lawns and driveways clean. I don't know. It's weird to me. What do you guys think?
Well, just like Santa Bim says in the chat, Nestle says the water is not a right, just another resource to be harvested for profit. No one has a right to it any more than they have a right to copper or gold. I mean, really, how do people own private beaches, and who sold them the private beach?
Right, exactly. Who originally acquired the beach?
And this is a closed system, like Steve says. Nothing can leak out. It can just get screwed up.
Yeah, poisoned. Yeah, you take it out of the loop by poisoning it. Pass law against that. Oh, and don't forget the chemtrails. And that's the other thing, what they don't mention, Angela, is that the HARP systems and all this offshore stuff that they're doing in conjunction with the chemtrails is designed to keep us in a drought, and it's designed to cause this horrible thing to happen. Because remember, and then we've got Fukushima hitting. We've already got radiation in our water, radiation in our grass, our meat, our food, everything. And 10% of the food that the country eats comes from California. So all they got to do is screw that up, and there's a big issue right there. Taking away 10% of the food will certainly have an effect on the entire country.
Don't you think this is planned? Doesn't it seem like
Of course it's planned. It's a massive plan, naturally. It all works into the equation, and they know exactly what they're doing. And supposedly they're the reasons why we're not getting the rain is because of this weather manipulation stuff. I mean, heck, Wilhelm Reich could make it rain. We could make it rain with cloudbusters if we just did it using the way Wilhelm Reich did it when he made it rain in Arizona and got a drought over in Arizona. Nobody talks about that, but it is possible to do. So if they turned off their nasty whatever it is that they're using, scalar weapons and what have you, radar weapons, HARP weapons, we could probably have a normal season. And yeah, we'd have to have a couple normal seasons to get that water. I mean, I live there. I see the rivers that are down to nothing. Lakes that I've been fishing on are down to nothing. You know,
that's true.
The boats are way down the bottom of the lake. It's very sad.
Right.
So.
I've witnessed it as well. You know, my husband loves to fish, you know, with his buddies, and we went to the Walker River recently, and it was just, I mean, I didn't see a single fish, and my husband was making a comment. How many feet do you think it was down, Bun? A couple feet, yeah.
Oh, way more than that.
More than that, yeah. I mean, you know, everything. You could just see basically rocks and a little bit of water over the top of the rocks. I mean, there was no
dams with nothing behind them. You know.
Yeah, exactly, and no fish as far as I could tell. I mean, maybe in the beginning of the season, but I didn't see any. And how could they travel on rocks anyway? I couldn't understand that.
You know what? I'm going to go water my grass when we're done. You think?
Listen, so I did find out, at least as of last year in April, there was this is where the western states have made collecting rainwater illegal, and that would be Utah, Washington, and Colorado. And that's at least. I don't know if it's changed since then. That's the first article I found. But I knew about Washington, but it's very odd to me. Colorado and Utah as well. Literally, I mean, there are people that have been arrested, detained, you know, et cetera, treated as, you know, terrorists, et cetera, for collecting rainwater, being treated very poorly by police raids, et cetera. It's really bizarre to me. Why? You know, and
let me tell you the story about the guy. There's a big story that everybody talks about, Angela. Just for clarity, you know, devil's advocate. The guy that went to jail for it, he got 30 days or 60 days, something like that. It might have been only 30 days. It was in Oregon. But what he did, he didn't have a barrel underneath his spigot or his rain gutter. What he did was he dammed up a little creek on his property and created himself a pond. And they told him to not do it, and he went and did it again. You know, they told him he had to let the water go, and, you know, he did it again. And that's what they sent him to jail for. So he wasn't just a guy with his downspout in a bucket.
Okay.
He was beyond that. But you're true. They're trying to discourage people from doing that, but that's like watering your lawn in your backyard. You know, there's no rainwater collection bucket police out there just yet. Right? But they're coming.
Collection bucket police.
They're coming. You know,
and they'll switch off. You know,
this is what
Republican. They'll go, oh, this year we're gonna go after you for not cutting your lawn.
And they will shoot your dog. They'll shoot your dog right there. You know.
Yeah.
Or they'll make you shoot your pigs if you're an organic pig farmer.
Well, yeah, that too. Your farm, they do that all over the farmhouse. Hell, if you rescue a wounded deer and you nurse it back to health, they'll come over and kill it for you right in front of your eyes. It's crazy to say, we're helping this animal. Give it to us. Boom! You know, it's like, we've done our job here. Let's go. That's like they do the same thing with humans. You know, there's like a 90-pound high school kid who was freaking out. They had two cops on top of him holding him down. The third cop comes in and said, we don't have time for this. Boom! You know, dead kid. You know, but they go in your backyard because they suspect a burglar back there. You know, poor Fido better hope keeps his mouth shut and hides somewhere. They will shoot. They will chase him. They won't just shoot him. They will chase it down. That's what they do. They are that bad. Dog, execute it quick. There's something weird about what's going on with the police and the guns right now. It's like they're taken over by a satanic thing. It's like we must kill all dogs. They can see our true form. They see us for what we are. Kill the animals. Oh. They recognize us. You know, it's like they're demons or something, you know. Seriously.
Definitely the apocalypse, the unveiling, so I wouldn't doubt it, man. I mean,
kill all the dogs. Yeah, that's like, first we kill all the dogs. Then they will have one less weapon. Then we take away their guns.
Then we kill the bunny rabbits, right?
Then the useless eaters, the kitty cats. Then they will go for the kitty cats. First the dogs, then the kitty cats. They're doing that in China, right? They have squads in China that run around with big old sticks, you know, bamboo sticks, and they listen in the neighborhood. If they hear a dog, they'll hunt you down, and they'll find your dog, and they'll beat it to death with a stick. That's what they do.
Where's PETA over there when you need them?
They do that to enforce the anti-dog ordinance.
I know it's facetious, but for real, you guys, I mean, you know. Well, I'm sure they would put down PETA, right? Any PETA person that gets off the plane in China, they'll take a bamboo stick. They're waiting for him to exit the plane, and they get a bamboo stick and hit the PETA person's king.
Yeah. Well, anyway, obviously every culture has different food standards. Right. You know, with one man's animals, another man's pet, blah blah blah, and all that. But seriously, though, there's some weird stuff going on with the police shooting the dogs over here.
All right, guys, we're almost out of time. We got like a minute left. I wanted to thank everybody. Again, we're listener supported here at freedomslips.com. So drop a dime or something on us, you know, or a nickel. Not a dime. We don't like getting drop dimes. Yeah. Give us a nickel or a quarter. But yeah, thank you, Stephen, Noreen, Kingsley from Africa. Thank you. Call in anytime, brother. Angela, my wing woman.
Yes, that's me.
And we had Keith from Arizona, I believe, and Wally lad. And if I'm missing anybody, thank you.
And thanks to everyone in the chat for listening in and also submitting your questions. And that was great. Sanobim, I think that's how you say your name, Sanobim. Nice to have you, participate. Maybe you'll be a caller sometime, and just, yo to all my homies in the chat. So.
And then, yo to all the listeners out there listening. Remember, revolution-radio.com. It's easy to remember. Come check us out. It's a pretty website, You'll appreciate it.
That's true.
All right, excellent. So, Kingsley, you'll have to be a caller. You'll have to call us. We have this show every week. And then, it'll be great for you to just check out what we're doing in general and see if you've got any input. Monday nights. Yeah, well, it's actually Tuesday mornings, technically. Yeah. So, all right. And my husband in the background, right here. Say bye, Bill.
Bye. Thanks for the comment, Bill.
All right.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good day, Kingsley.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right on.
Yeah,
again, it's Revolution.
Same to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. And happy birthday. Oh, my God.
Thanks. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, so let's see what else. Again, this is Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. We are, I think the break music comes a little later, if I recall correctly.
It should be any second.
Are we still on?
Yeah, it's still live. We got we're just waiting for that automated robot to, do someone's job for them.
So we're still on the air. I'm amazed.
Oh, yeah, we are still on the air.
Huh.
Got about a minute or two left, at the most.
All right, so let's see. Well, did you find Noreen, or did somebody you
know? No, you guys, this is,
no.
I live in a cul-de-sac, fortunately, so no, it's not like, the water police can come down, but we got a notice saying that the potentiality of this happening.
It's like city council, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, it's silly because, I don't know if it's silly or not. I mean, I'm not into wasting water, but I like to clean my own car sometimes, and it seems like I'm prohibited in keeping my car clean because of this.
Right. I can see using a broom to your driveway instead of the hose, but you should be able to wash your frickin' car.
Yeah, without having it. Yeah, and Bill, my husband's asking.
Have they restricted car washes?
Right. They pay them off. They're part of the system.
Hey, have they stopped car washes from doing their business?
I don't think so. I don't know. What Rectify is saying, Rectify, who's also in Southern California, is saying that probably now they probably pay off the...
Oh, yeah. They got an entire mafia set up, the car wash mafia.
The car wash mafia.
Oh, yeah. All right, everybody. That's the Gray Zone for you. Have a great week. Much love. Peace out.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message.
Most freeze. That's your cerebral cortex looking for an answer it doesn't have.
See? Even your brain knows you're screwed.
blood is filled with adrenaline right now, whether you know it or not. Your heart's beating fast. It's getting a little harder to breathe. The neurobiological system is telling it to run, but your knees are too weak to move.
Fear is not real. The only place that fear can exist is in our thoughts of the future. It is a product of our imagination, causing us to fear things that do not at present and may not ever exist. That is near insanity. Do not misunderstand me. Danger is very real, but fear is a choice. We are all telling ourselves a story.
You're listening to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. 100% listener-supported radio. Reporting to danger. Unafraid. Right here, where information never sleeps. Revolution Radio!
These guys are hammers. And to hammers, everything looks like nails.
I heard that.
You were meant to. So you see something that's important, you call it out. We'll make it happen. Okay. Mother Nature is a serial killer. No one's better. More creative.